It's a joke. Yep. This was all a joke, prank. It was a hilarious prank, wasn't it? So you're probably wondering, for those who are actually watching, what do you mean? Why that this is a joke, right? Well, Dylan, if you're watching this too, you're probably asking yourself that question as well. This was actually a huge project that James and I were working on. Why? Well, we just wanted to see a reaction. I mean, it was probably worth it. I mean, he made a video for absolutely no reason, in a sense, but for a reason.
Yeah.
So, the idea of doing this actually came from, as you know, if you've watched the recent Mirror League video, what happened was we mentioned about how we see the Hell in a Cell poster with Roman Reigns looking like the devil, and then we see, you know, these comments of Vince McMahon, you know, commenting on not only Dylan's video but James's video. And it looked really believable, to say the least. There's just only one issue about that. There are tons of Vince McMahon profiles. As a matter of fact, a lot of channels on YouTube with the words Vince McMahon in it. It's hilarious. But I was the one that created the Vince McMahon channel. And I was telling to James that I'm going to see if I can just screw around with Dylan, right? Mm-hmm. So, and we were originally planning on having him make a rant video about Vince McMahon stealing the devil gimmick, but as you guys already know, the devil is for everybody. So that was his words, not mine. It was gonna fail on that one.
We succeeded, but we also failed at the same time.
Yeah. But we were originally gonna have him make a rant video on of Dylan, with him ranting about Vince McMahon stealing the devil, but it never really worked.
He made a reaction video of the video.
Yeah, because
the title said rant. While watching it,
rant 1 and rant 2, because it was never really a rant.
It
was a great match. It was unfair. At least someone won, you know, but you know, it was never really the case. And he even mentioned it was never really a rant to begin with. If you're gonna rant, Dylan, you're gonna have to be angry, or at least genuinely concerned about whatever you're passionate about, you know. So, with the plans of him not making a rant video on Vince, I decided to take a step further, and maybe I wanted to work a program with this guy. So if you've seen the video, we showed photographic evidence of Vince McMahon commenting on his rant video, the recent rant video that he made on WWE, right? And it got to a heated argument between the two. Oh, the humanity.
Yeah. Although I did feel good though, even though I wasn't talking to a real Vince.
Yeah, it was funny though. We all played in character, and Dylan was just eating this up. And speaking of which, there was another person who also ate this up.
Antonio.
Yeah,
AKA Joker 24/7. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. No offense to Antonio. He was never really the target. He was a unnecessary target.
It was unintentional. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, Antonio. You won't be facing Vince anytime soon. So. But I mean, if you want, maybe we can settle the score. Maybe it's 1-1 on us. I mean, if you want to go ahead and both of us can play against one another, then
one last
time, and you know,
there are multiple reasons behind it, but that'll all be in a separate video.
All right. I mean, that's really up to, you know, if I'm going to be available enough anytime soon. So hopefully I am. But anyway, back with Dylan. So, with James and I making stipulation that if Vince loses, he retires, but if he wins the Mirror League, Allen League, would be all his. And, you know, he accepted that. But what's very hilarious was, I'm pretty sure James had the idea of winning.
Yeah, but I wasn't.
Yeah, I told him this, like, I was one day, on the day that, you know, we were setting this all up, I was telling him, you know what we should do? We should let Vince win. And he was like, why? And I replied, for shock value, right?
Yeah.
Just for shock value. So let's show you how we did it, right? And this is another reason why, that, you know, this is what's hilarious. If you watch the video of James going against Vince, there's a huge difference. The gap is bigger than the Grand Canyon itself between what you're playing on as far as local play or online play. Him and I were just playing on local play because
he was the one controlling Vince.
yeah, which is funny because it's like it should have been, I guess, should have been already noticeable considering why are we seeing the counter icon,
I can't believe
the R2 like right above Vince's head, despite the fact, oh, it's supposed to be online. You're supposed to be facing against someone like your opponent. Normally wouldn't show that on screen, but and I would know because I played against Antonio online to realize that shit. So
I can't believe he actually fell for it. He didn't realize the R2 counter things. I can't believe it.
well, I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, he rarely plays the wrestling games.
Yeah.
He only hears what's going on around him, you know.
He believes in everything.
I mean, he believes it's like he's like, no offense to you, Dylan, you're a mark. That means you buy into the wrestling business. You believe that it's all real, but you don't realize it's a work. I'm not trying to insult you, but that's just the way how it is. You could say it's real all you want, but you know, you could even ask this guy that, you know, it's all a work, you know, and he knew, like, he knows, he believes that wrestling is not a work. He believes that it's all legit, right?
Which is kind of strange.
One of the biggest examples of that was, if you remember, one of the videos that you uploaded back when we were hanging out on Marquise's, also known as Everyday Track 18. Shout out to him. It was that Mario Kart video, right?
Yeah.
It was one of those videos. Was it ever uploaded to the channel? I don't know which one was it, but there was one where the stipulation was if he loses, he had to admit that wrestling was fake.
Oh. That was never uploaded.
Oh, shit. Well, I mean, there was that. There was the one time. That never got uploaded.
None of that would matter anyway.
Yeah.
Because, well, again, we'll be in a separate video.
Yeah. But, you know, we're not trying to be mean or anything, but, you know, that's just the way how it was at the time. And you can't change the man, you know? Or in this case, the boy. So, let's show you how we did it, alright? So, as you see on screen right over here, we got WWE 2K18, because 2K19's not out yet. So, I see people probably got early access to the game. So, this is how we did it. Yeah, this was the problem. So, we had this idea where we were going to have a handicap match, as a regular handicap match. Even though it was meant to be just one-on-one, I was planning on having a handicap match. James was going to be Finn Balor, and I was going to be playing not only Vince McMahon, but we were going to be making the devil version of Roman Reigns and have him playable as well. So that was going to be a 2-on-1. We were going to have both of them beat the living hell out of Finn Balor. He was supposed to let both of them win, have Vince take the pin, you know. It would have been hilarious. But the only issue with that being is, for some reason, we get this stupid message over here. Use of content created by other players is not allowed for your account due to parental controls. Even we had this on, you know, like one of the guest profiles. It still wouldn't make a difference because it would still give us that little issue. So and to be honest with you, I'm not gonna trash PS4 or anything. I'm in for any video game console, but I have the Xbox One version of this game, and it never gave me a problem. I don't know if it's either an issue with the game itself, and 2K may have dropped the ball in this one, or maybe we're doing something wrong with the PS4 that we ourselves don't even realize. We tried everything, and even tried to change the age range for the profile. Nothing was working. So, James and I were like, okay, so we have no choice but to make this you can go back onto the thing here. There's no way we'd be able to show, share our creations through multiplayer. This is local play, mind you, right? So, we had James play as Finn Balor. So, as I was mentioning before, originally Vince was locked. James never really had that much consistency of unlocking characters here. So, biggest thing I would do, like the most reasonable thing, would just buy the Unlock Everything pack. It will unlock everything as far as legends and, characters that, well, just basically legends, So where was I again? From Mr. McMahon. And, yeah, so that's exactly what we did. We just had James be Finn and me being Vince the entire time. It wasn't a one-on-one normal. It was a Hell in a Cell match, for the record. It's even in the video, you can tell. But what I thought was hilarious was how we knocked it out of the ballpark. I just forgot that post-match I remember how it was funny too. Post-match interference was involved with the Undertaker. That was unintentional. We never thought that was gonna be a thing. I was hoping it was not gonna be a thing, but what are the odds,
Yeah, that was kind of funny. Though.
It was. So, and it's weird because it's like, I tried my absolute best, because I was standing right next to the camera guy. Right around there, you can point where I was sitting. I was just sitting right over there. So that way, and tried to hide the controller as best as possible.
The flashing red.
Yeah. Because as you know, these controllers, they have this thing where one controller, the first player is blue, the second controller is red. So it's like, I tried to hide the second controller. And while I'm hiding the controller, I was wearing a t-shirt too. And while the camera was aiming at the television screen, I had to do my absolute best to not make it sound like that there's any means of, clacking. I mean, that was, especially around the segments where there was that submission mini game that we were playing. Another thing you should know, that another reason why you could tell which one, if it's online multiplayer or local play, by default, you have to use the right or the left stick. Was it the left stick?
Right.
Right stick, okay.
Right stick.
So you have to use the right stick for the submission moves for default. It takes longer for the referee to count a pin for you to kick out as well.
And it takes a while for the guy to tap. When you saw the online division match with him and Antonio.
Yeah, there's a huge... If you look at the match between Vince and James...
Sorry to cut you off. The button thing that was shown on the screen will never show that on online division at all.
No.
Would never show that.
On the online matches, you won't really show the button mashing option. Everything's all default.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a pretty good match, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, what now? So what are your thoughts, like, on the prank,
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was a good idea for a prank. And Dylan, once again, you fall for these things. Honestly.
I mean, it's all right to fall for it. I mean, it's all part of the game, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like we're not harming anyone.
No.
He even believed that it was Vince McMahon, which is funny because in the we had a group chat, right? You don't have to show it, but you and I were in the group chat too.
Yeah.
He was talking about how, oh wow, it's so weird that he would know. He even said, I think he said it in his video too. I didn't know that, he commented on my videos. I didn't even know he knew my channel existed, right?
And we can't make an excuse like, oh, he spies on us.
Yeah. I responded to him going, well, McMahon works in mysterious ways, So, and he believed that, but that's all right. I mean, it's all part of the plan, right?
Yeah.
So, and it was also funny when he found out that, it was weird because he even said, if I make a video on it, if I make a video of Vince, maybe he's gonna call me out. That's if he was. It's funny.
That's a hypocrite thing for him to say. Wanna know why? Number one, I hate to mention this because this had to be said. He's afraid of him being called out by Vince.
But then he calls out Owen.
He calls out Italian Boy.
Italian Boy USA '98, right?
Not once, but twice.
Yeah, twice that actually happened. Newsflash, Dylan, don't start shit. Don't do that. I mean, I get it. You're trying to prove a point that you're trying to, that you've changed. But you don't want to end up looking like the bad guy in the end. Right now, I'm pretty sure that, Owen is maybe watching this video. Because I'm not going to lie. I had personal beef with Owen in the past.
Yeah.
And, for the things that he did, during the Hangouts, I mean, he's probably going to, give a rebuttal. But, all I'm just going to say was he was not really, I'm not going to say he was a bad person, right? No one's perfect.
No one's perfect.
So, I'm trying to be nice here. Honestly, and it's funny because Owen says that he wants this thing to blow over between him and Dylan, but really,
that's never gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen because he had to.
As much as he wants to, it's mainly Dylan's the main issue.
Yeah, he honestly saw this coming. He had to see this coming in some shape or form, but it's in the words of Owen, it's none of my business.
Yeah. So, what now?
Well, I guess we can, wrap it up then.
Yeah. That's it then. Thank you for watching.
Wait, I actually got one thing to ask.
Okay.
I have one thing to say. This is actually the first time I get to do this. Oh shit. Ever since I called out Antonio, I guess this is the first time we're doing this, right?
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
So, who's the sheep now?